Bear with us. This is a virtual meeting. Dr. Murphy will explain. This was approved by the committee by proclamation. And actually does not violate the Meetings Act and form the business functions of the education. So whenever there is call roll.
Deanna Bauman. Craig Kelly.
Here.
Kelly, here.
Kermit Kendrick.
Bear with us. This is a virtual meeting. Dr. Murphy will explain. This was approved by the committee by proclamation. And actually does not violate the Meetings Act.
Mr. Kendrick had a commitment at work.
Amy Madonna.
Here.
Amy Tosney.
Here. Yes, board members, I would like to request your approval that we entertain a motion to temporarily suspend certain provisions of the Alabama Administrative Code, more specifically 2090-010-010.04, which are in conflict and superseded by our governor's proclamation related to the Open Meetings Act that was issued on March 18, 2020. Namely, the requirement to vote by raised hand and those provisions related to the establishment of a quorum by physical presence and meeting by electronic means. What we're simply having to do here, Mr. Kelly, is that we are allowing ourselves the flexibility that Governor Ivey has issued to us now that we're in this pandemic event and need to keep our distance from each other, as you and I are more than 6 feet apart this evening. But I do ask that you approve this request for a motion to temporarily suspend based on the governor's information to us.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Could I have a motion by one?
So moved.
Second.
Who's that first and second motion? Whoever else call roll call first.
Deanna Bauman.
Aye.
Craig Kelly.
Craig Kelly, aye.
Amy Madonna.
Aye.
Amy Tosney.
Ms. Tosney, could you give us a thumbs up or down in terms of the approval of the agenda? I'm seeing a thumbs up. 2 of them. Thank you.
Also, if I could just, Mr. Kelly's mic is off. I cannot hear him very well.
Yeah, it's not muted, but I'm not getting him either. Mr. Kelly, your cell phone is about to ring. Use it as your microphone.
While we're doing that, thank you all so much for just being patient. This is a new way of doing business for all of us, and I'm just so appreciative that you'll give us the latitude to get this work right. It's so important that we live stream this and have folks join alongside us, but it's also important that you can hear us. And so just give us a moment, please.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, where were we? we got, first and second. Okay, and we've already approved the agenda, is that correct? Okay, good. Okay, Dr. Murphy, you've got some recognitions that you'd like to mention.
Again, we have an agenda that has recognitions on it, and we always enjoy this part, but given we're in a different time, I wanted to take the privilege of just acknowledging seniors in Hoover City Schools. At Hoover High School, we have 707 seniors. At Spain Park, we have 396 seniors, so we have 1,103 seniors this year. And I just want to say to our seniors, how proud I am of you. The second thing I would say is I know that this is just a difficult time. This is not how any of us expected to spend 2020, and I just so regret the number of fun events and activities, proms and class night and graduation, things that have been altered in your life. And but I do encourage you to just make the very best out of this. What a terrific learning experience for all of us. Please know that we're having conversations about how we appropriately recognize our seniors. What does that look like? I know that our high school principals and their teams are hard at work making decisions about how we celebrate you. So if you'll just, again, extend us a little bit of patience on that, I want you to know that I'm very proud of you, and I know that this is a difficult time for all of our students, and most particularly our seniors. I also want to recognize a young man who last evening was acknowledged as the Class 7A Bryant Jordan Student Achievement Winner. His name is Cooper Tulo, and I know that his mother, Kim, who's in our school district, his dad, Mike, and his brothers, Carson and Landry, who are also graduates of our school district, are so proud of him, as we are. As many of you may know his story, he not only won our the student 7A Student Achievement winner last evening, but he was also recognized as a young man who's overcome major obstacles in his life. At 11 years old, he was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, had some horrific treatments that occurred, and has been able to overcome that disease and persevere to become a part of our varsity football team. So as Coach Urban sent to me, congratulates Coop. We're so proud of you, and just wanted to take that moment to acknowledge him. So to our seniors, to Cooper, our recognition goes out to you this evening. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly shared that the minutes of the regular board meeting March 10 are before you, board members, and there's a request for a motion and a second.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Ms. Neville says that we have approval by majority of the board, so this is approved. Thank you.
Next, board members, you have the personnel actions. As you look through those, you'll see that there are 2 transfers, also 2 requests for leave of absence. We have 5 resignations, 10 retirements. All of those requests for retirements will be occurring June 1 of this year. So those individuals will complete the academic year with us. And of those 10 individuals, collectively, they have 250.5 years of service to children. And I ask that you approve this personnel report, and with excitement for them, but for sadness for us, we're losing some terrific veteran employees. You do have the personnel actions before you, and I request your approval.
Dr. Murphy, I'm having technical difficulties. I'd like to
Yes.
pass the gavel to Ms. Baumann, let her conduct this vote, and since Ms. Neville is in my presence, she can record my vote.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, board members, before you are the personnel actions. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Personnel actions have passed.
Next, board members, we have before us our business action items, and I'm going to ask Michelle McKay to talk through the monthly financial statement ending February of this year. We have cash disbursements and also payroll. And after her presentation, I'll ask that you approve all business action items together unless you object. Michelle?
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Business action items for April include payroll, March 2020, $8,393,379.99. Cash disbursements for February FY 2020 equaled $6,182,062.85. Board members and Dr. Murphy, before you, included in your packet is the summary and general purpose financial statements for the month ended February 29, 2020. For FY 20, 73.14% of budget revenue has been received for the month ended February 29, 2020. We have seen an increase in ad valorem receipts compared to this time last year, but as we move into spring and summer, additional tax receipts will begin to decline. The results of operations represent 5 months of activity. Accordingly, we would anticipate having spent approximately 42% of the budget for recurring expenditures. At this time, general fund expenditures are 41.02% of the budget. For the 5 months of activity, the current month's reserve is 11.25. This will decrease as ad valorem tax collections decline the remainder of the year. In February, we made payments for upgrades to our HVAC systems, as well as for principal and interest on our outstanding debt. Special revenue expenditures for 5 months of activity were $9.4 million, or 46.27% of the budget. The majority of federal funds, including CNP, are expensed during the school year, and requests for reimbursement occur a month in arrears. Thank you, Dr. Murphy.
Board members, I would request your approval of the monthly financial statement ending February, cash disbursements, and payroll.
Board members, before you are the business items. I need a motion and a second to approve the business action items.
So moved.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Business actions have passed. Thank you, Dr. Murphy.
Ms. Baumann, board members, next on our agenda is a policy revision for Board Policy 6.14. This is specific to corporal punishment in our school district. This is not a change in policy, but merely a clarification, and I'd like to read it for the board members and for our public. So Board Policy 6.14, specific to corporal punishment. The board does not permit the use of corporal punishment as a consequence for inappropriate behavior. Appropriate restraint or intervention may be allowed in response to emergencies or other circumstances reasonably requiring such action. The distinction that we're trying to make is that between the use of corporal punishment and on those occasions when it's necessary for us to appropriately restrain a student for his or her well-being or that of others. I ask your approval, as you've already had this a month in advance. I ask your approval of Board Policy 6.14, corporal punishment in its revision.
Board members, I need a motion and a second to approve the policy revision for 6.14, corporal punishment.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The policy has passed. Dr. Murphy?
Thank you. There is a second policy revision, which is 6.1.2.A, specific to admission to our schools. And I'd like to also read this. This is a clarification of individuals to be admitted into our schools. School-aged children who reside within the municipal limits of the city of Hoover, Alabama, are eligible to enroll in Hoover City schools. For purposes of this policy, 1, the residence of a child shall be presumed to be the legal domicile of the custodial parent. Where parents have separate domiciles, custody shall be determined by an appropriate judicial order or agency placement order. 2, if custody of the child is joint or altering, the actual physical residence of the child will control. Unilateral delegations will not be recognized for enrollment or for continued enrollment. Should any conflict arise between the terms of this policy or its proposed application and governing state or federal law, including applicable court orders, such law shall be deemed controlling. This, again, board members, is simply to clarify admission to Hoover City Schools. I request your approval.
Board members, we need a motion and a second to approve the policy revision for 6.1.2A, admissions to schools. I need a motion.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? The policy revision passes. Dr. Murphy.
Next on our agenda is bid recommendation for Hoover High School partial roof replacement. I am requesting that you award this to the lowest bidder, Quality Architectural Metal and Roofing, which is a Hoover company. The base bid came in at $1,529,499. There are no alternates that are required to meet the budget requirements. There were 5 invitations to bid that were extended, and we did receive 4 responses. You have a tabulation sheet included for your review, and I'm asking your approval of Quality Architectural Metal and Roofing for the amount of $1,529,499, which is the base bid for partial re-roofing of Hoover High School. Requesting your approval.
Board members, I need a motion to accept the bid recommendation from Dr. Murphy for the Hoover High School partial roof replacement.
So moved.
Second? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, board members. The bid has passed. Dr. Murphy.
Board members, it's this time every year that we start to think about summer work schedules. And as we have done in years past, we'd like to propose a summer work schedule that would begin June 1 and end July 27th. Employees will work Monday through Thursday, 10 hours a day, unless a different schedule is approved by the superintendent or designee, which might include supervisors or directors who would need to have employees on some sort of different schedule. There's a lot of assumption here, and that is that we're assuming relief from COVID and our opportunity to return back to some sort of normalcy on a schedule. I do request your approval of this summer work schedule, being a 4-day work week, 10 hours, again, based on some flexibility that might have to be issued by directors and supervisors or the superintendent. Requesting your approval.
Thank you. Board members, I need a motion to approve the summer work schedule.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions concerning the work schedule for the summer? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The work schedule is passed. Dr. Murphy.
The last item under action items is that of H, a change of monthly board meeting dates from the second Tuesday to the second Monday. We have a board member that has a conflict, a work conflict with our Tuesday, second Tuesday. So a request from Mr. Kermit Kendrick to move that to the second Tuesday instead of the second Monday. What?
Move it to the first one. To the second.
I'm sorry, that we'd be moving from the second Tuesday to the second Monday. Sorry, I guess I got bumfuzzled there. So a request to change that based on that need of a board member. What we are presenting to you is starting with May 11th, that we would move that to that Monday and all subsequent second Mondays after that to carry us all the way through June 14. What we would typically be doing is asking you to approve the regular board meeting dates in May. So I'm just jumping a month ahead to ask you to do that, given the request to be able to accommodate our board members. So you have before you the regular board meeting dates. The only exception that we have that I would note to you at this time is a conflict that I have on October the 12th of this fall, in the fall, which is our SSA Fall Conference, and would ask that we just simply push that out to the third Monday. We have a little bit of time if that needs to be altered, but do ask your approval of this change in our board meeting dates.
Board members, I need a motion to change the monthly board meeting from the second Tuesday to the second Monday, and all the meeting dates for our next fiscal year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
We'll move now to the superintendent's reports, information reports, and the first item I would like to present to you is a revision to a job description for operations. Matt Wilson has asked us to give consideration to this job description. It would be a job description that's entitled maintenance. It would be controls technician. As you all are aware, we have lots of security cameras throughout our school district, thousands. We have security badges for all employees, and we really need some additional support with that part of our work. And so this is just the revision of a job description. The controls technician aligned fairly closely to an existing job description for our electrician. So we use that as sort of the starting place for us to just make some edits to the job description for maintenance electrician, altered that to now be maintenance controls technician, again, to help us with security cameras and security badges. No request for you to address this evening, just simply as we're thinking about our work and how best to get that work done, how to write those job descriptions aligned to that. I present to you just this opportunity for you to review this job description for operations. At this current time, there's no request to fill that position, simply for you to review that. And as time progresses and the need is there and resources are there, we would look at filling that position. So that's just for your review. The second item under our report is that of analysis of tax receipts. And I'm going to go to mute and ask Michelle McKay again to join us for conversation.
Thank you, board members. Included in your packet this month was an analysis of local tax receipts. I chose February because that is the last month that we see significant tax receipts. The amount of revenue collected between now and September the 30th will be minimum. So looking at the information that I shared with you, I started with a 5-year comparison. And what I did was I broke out all the property tax, then the auto tax and sales tax. We get property tax and auto tax from Shelby County, Jefferson County, and from the city of Hoover. So if you look at February 2020, At this time, we're in a very good place. We have matched what we received last year. So it just goes to support our budget and where we are today, and that we have a steady revenue flow. And that's a positive. We are seeing a slight decline in the 16 mil Shelby County property tax, as well as the 16 million Shelby County auto tax. If you look at the sales tax, there's a slight decline there for Shelby County as well. One thing I do want to point out too is that the auto tax, the 24 mil Shelby County from the city of Hoover and the 24 mil Jefferson County auto tax from the city of Hoover, under that February 2019 column, unfortunately, we had the wrong number there. So if you have a pen and pencil and you want to fill it in, the amount for the 24 mil Shelby County, it should have been $498,805.37. The amount for 24 mil Jefferson County 2019 should have been $809,842. And in February 2020, I was able to get the January and the February auto tax receipts this past week. There's been a little delay because of delivery with mail. So we did get the January and the February. So if you want to change that February 2020 column, the 24 mil Shelby County auto tax is $530,923.16. The 24 mil Jefferson County auto tax is now $832,381.20. So a little bit above where we were last year. Again, it just goes to show that we have steady revenues coming in. And the good news is, and I'm pleased to say in these times of uncertainty, that we have received 99.73% of local tax receipts to date. Actual receipts to date, $77,188,662.67. The FY20 budget for the local tax receipts was $77,392,939. And I'll stay here if you have any questions.
Thank you, Michelle. We'll ask if there are questions of Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. Board members, next, in terms of report, I want to share some information under C, which is instructional delivery. And so that's kind of my catch-all place where I want to share several things with you. First of all, it's important that I announced this evening that we have received an extension from our federal judge as it relates to our transfer deadline. The transfer deadline was to be April the 15th, which I believe is tomorrow. And that has now been extended until June the 15th. The reason for the request to extend is, first of all, what we're all experiencing now, which is complete dishevelment of life as we've known it. And the fact that we've also sent out lots of emails and correspondences with our community, and we just don't want this transfer request to have been lost in any sort of shuffle. And so out of just an abundance of care, we wanted to issue some additional time for any families that wanted to request any transfer. So the transfer date has been extended to June the 15th. A notice likely is going out today, if it has not already, a call-out notification. There'll be another call-out notification as a reminder on May 13th, on June the 3rd, and again on June the 15th, the date that this has been extended to. So just as a matter of information to you as it relates to that. Also want to just share with you an update on our feeding program. As you all know, we have continued to find a way to serve students who are food insecure. During the week of March 16th through the 20th, we fed 2,584 meals out to students. We did not serve meals during spring break, the week of March the 23rd. The week of March the 30th, we prepared and served 2,198 meals. Last week, we served 1,977. And so far this week, Monday and Tuesday, we've served 876 meals. So a total of 7,635 meals have been prepared for children who are food insecure. I want to thank our CMP workers. I want to thank Melinda Bonner and also Lindsay Lauderdale for their support in providing meals. I'm also very appreciative of Hoover Helps and the city of Hoover. They've worked alongside of us and provided lots of non-perishable foods that have gone out to our multifamily dwellings, to apartment complexes, to provide food for our families that might be struggling with that. So just a lot of gratitude for those who've continued to help us find a way to serve those meals. Also want to share with you some information. Actually, I may be getting ahead of myself. Let's see what else I wanted to share with you under the instructional delivery. So appreciative of all of our teachers, our school leaders, for designing a way to continue instruction in this difficult time. Again, as you all know, for our children K through 2 who do not have Chromebooks, we're issuing learning packets for those children. For our students in grades 3 through 12 who have Chromebooks, most of their instruction is coming to them by way of online. And we've had to rethink and redesign in very short order how to get this work done. This is a great time for me to thank the IT department and the great work that they have done. It's a great time to thank our school leaders, our principals, our assistant principals, our teachers who have just gotten this work done, to our curriculum department that's helped us design. So it's just everyone doing their part of this work to help us to have been able to do this work in short order. So that's our instructional delivery. We're pleased with how it's going. I wouldn't tell you that it's gone without hitches and glitches. There certainly have been those challenges, and I anticipate there'll be others. I've had emails that have said, whoa, hang on, way too much work is being issued to our children, and other emails that says my child's not getting enough work. And we're certainly trying to find that appropriate balance between the amount of time, effort, and energy that our children should be investing. I will say this unequivocally, we have absolutely attempted to design this in such a way to ensure the success of all of our children. We do not want this unprecedented event to result in our students not being able to be successful with their work. So we're open, we're receiving emails. Many of our families are exceptionally pleased, and many still have some questions, and we're trying to work through those challenges. So thank you for allowing me just to share a bit of an update on our instructional delivery. I'd also like to just share with you that we continue to stay the course on our capital outlay projects. Matt Wilson is doing a superb job in his work as our coordinator supervisor in that area, and he has given you a very detailed report. I'll just pull a couple of high points from that to say that, yes, the work has been impacted by COVID. It has resulted in us not being able, in some cases, to secure building materials. In some cases, it's been very difficult to get bids because we can't get suppliers to get the prices they need on the materials, and also the impact that this pandemic has had on employees being able to come to work. So know that we are continuing our capital outlay projects. You do have a lot of detail from Matt. He did give us a full report last month, and so I'll not belabor his report further, but certainly we'll answer any questions that you might have. Just know that our work is being impacted, as everything seems to be, by COVID at this particular time. The last thing that I would share with you is that of a legislative update, and then we'll pause and let you all share any thoughts or pose any questions under the superintendent's report category. The legislators are scheduled to return on April the 28th. There could be a reconvene only to extend that further. I'm sure that they'll be dictated about regarding where we are at that time with COVID-19. It's anticipated that there will be a limited set of bills. Likely the budget will be under consideration at that time, expecting at best to have a level funded budget. There may be some local bills that make it onto the table, and possibly some tax renewal or tax credit renewals are likely to be addressed. And that seems to be what we can anticipate might go on the table for the legislators upon their return. You may also be aware that May 18th is the last possible date for this legislative session. The things that we think have been lost as a result of the pandemic is that either lost and or postponed and delayed. I'll say it that way. Likely the advancement in technology monies, the 3% pay raise that seem to be getting traction. We do not believe that bond issues are likely to be issued. If so, they'll be delayed. And any additional monies that we might have anticipated or hoped for mental health are not likely to be on the table at this time either. If a budget is not approved by May 18th by our legislators, they will be going into a special session later this year to pass the budget. So, of course, downtime for our legislators. I wouldn't say downtime. I'm sure they've been exceptionally busy, but certainly not in session. And so we appreciate how this has impacted our legislators also. I'm going to mute myself and allow others to ask questions and or join in on any of those particular items.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. I would just like to also say and show gratitude to you, to all the central office staff, teachers, administrators, counselors, CNP, IT. I mean, they have gone beyond to help our students through this transition. Just everybody's done an amazing job, and I just wanted to make sure to let everyone know that we know that has not gone unnoticed, and we are very appreciative of all the hard work. Even if you are sitting at home, that there's a lot that has gone into everything that that has been accomplished, and so thank you. I feel so privileged to be a part of this school district. I'm seeing everything that has happened over in this time that we're going through. A lot of great things has happened as well. My only question, I just sort of wanted an update. How is the Wi-Fi hotspot working with our buses?
Great question. So thank you for your accommodations to all. We have 8 buses that have Wi-Fi connectivity. We chose the locations of those buses based on the metric of free and reduced lunch. So we looked at our apartment complexes where we had the greatest volume of free and reduced lunch children. We assumed from that likely those children might be most in need also of having connectivity. Most of our apartments have been very gracious in wanting us to have our buses on their locations, and so we're appreciative of that. Only in one complex have we had to reposition the bus because it was in the way of individuals trying to park near the clubhouse, the main office, and we were happy to make that move of our buses. So we appreciate the collaborative spirit that we've received from management in our complexes. We will continue to look at the numbers of students who are using those buses, the Wi-Fi from those buses, and we may reposition buses or relocate buses. In talking to Jeremy Bradford this morning, he said we've had to replace a couple of batteries on those buses as that Wi-Fi connectivity pulls that juice, and to recharge those. So we're pleased. This is probably also a good place, Ms. Baumann, for me to acknowledge that our city has also come alongside of us. Our mayor and city council reached out to business and industry and said, hey, can you increase your Wi-Fi capacity so that children who live near your business or industry may be able to connect? And many businesses and industry have done that for us. They've shared passwords so that our children could continue their work. And so when we all do this work together, it just seems to work beautifully. And if any of our families still have challenges as it relates to connectivity, we certainly want to receive those calls or emails so that we can find a way to make sure that there is truly equity in the way we're doing this work and offering education to our children. So thank you for that question.
Board members, are there any other questions or concerns at this time? Dr. Murphy, you have anything else?
Nothing other than to remind us of our upcoming board meeting and that change of date to May the 11th. And thank you all for your patience as we're working our board meetings in a very different way.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for joining us this evening. If there are no other questions or concern, we are adjourned. Thank you.